This court is now in session. Please be seated and come to order.
Gentlemen, post your colors.
Your Honor, we are met here this day in Henricus Historical Park for a naturalization ceremony. I would like, with the court's permission, to call upon Mr. Charles L. Grant, Executive Director of the Henricus Historical Park, to give a few brief introductory remarks. After which, Your Honor, it is my privilege to present to you today 59 applicants for naturalization. Each person before us today has been examined individually and tested on government, history, and the ability to speak, read, and write in ordinary usage of the English language by an officer of the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Each person is a person of good moral character and attached to the principles of the Constitution and the form of government of the United States. Each applicant has been certified by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services as fully qualified under the law for naturalization. And in addition to taking the oath of allegiance, there are 18 petitions for change of name. I move that those petitions be granted. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Grant.
Well, good morning. Fellow citizens, ceremony participants, and guests, welcome to Henricus on this beautiful and distinguished late summer evening. My name is Charlie Grant. I'm the Executive Director here at Henricus Historical Park. The land upon which you stand today represents centuries of recorded human history. This land is rich with the story of America from the thousands of years when this area was home to Native Americans, to 1611 when English settlers first arrived, to the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and even World War I, when this site was used to train artillery soldiers for service in Europe. Henricus, in many respects, is a microcosm of the timeline of your national history. And I hope that today you and your family will take the opportunity to explore, learn, and enjoy Henricus as our guests. The naturalization ceremony that you are a part of today represents a truly proud and distinctive chapter in the annals of history at Henricus. And we are deeply honored to be a part of it. So it is now my distinct honor to introduce to you Federal Judge Roderick C. Young.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to introduce the candidates for naturalization by calling them by their name and the country of origin. Upon completion of the roll, I'd like to call upon Officer Lori Jackson from the Norfolk Field Office to administer the oath of allegiance.
All right, please proceed.
Thank you. Cecilia del Valle Anaya Bergman from Argentina. Samira Waji Saeed, and you may sit down after I call your name, thank you, from Syria. Seon Kim from South Korea. Huda Halal Fekri, Iraq. Sutsada Surinpomi, Laos. Mahmoud Ahmed Resin, Iraq. Nuri Ahmed Resin, Iraq. Iris Zakir Riyadh, Egypt. And Janessa Rogers Langley, Trinidad and Tobago. Ophelia Galvin Obir, Mexico. Abayome Adelaja Ogunbade, Nigeria. Amelia Madison Diamond, Laos. And this, I believe, is in addition to the list that I have. Juan Zavala from Mexico. Maria Isabel Alba de Leon, Peru. Radhika Priya Ipaturi, India. Bubo Ama Banini, Ghana. Juana Cortez Guse, the Philippines. Perpetual Apia, Ghana. Hao Zheng, People's Republic of China. Graham Bruce Davies, Australia. Juan Pablo Contreras, Mexico. Alexander Batkin, Russia. Christine Seonju Han, Canada. Agnes David Coraraton, the Philippines. Samir Khalil, Egypt. Andrea Gabriela Vera Ordóñez, Venezuela. Rosa Ramirez Rivera, Mexico. Dui Hoang Din, Vietnam. Elena Pigareva, Russia. Lakshmi Bhuvana Venkat Kanaka Gunuru, India. Yolanda Ayala from Mexico. Noah Valeriana Barahona, Honduras. Devendra Ganeshayam Taksakar, India. Giovanna Merino, Mexico. Tanom Sunarata, Thailand. Hyun Chol Ko, South Korea. Joyce Christina, Pakistan. Anna Elizabeth Garcia de Samayoa, Guatemala. Danielle Simon Carson, Australia. Abdul Rahman Muhammad, Ghana. Thais Marquioli Barker, Brazil. Victor Bizugolov, Ukraine. Alla Bezugolov, Ukraine. Vanita Murugesan, India. Susan Faragsoli Shahata, Egypt. Safwat Radi Besha Shahata, Egypt. Kushbu Vora, India. Arafam Banu Ikram Vora, India. Shafik Amin, Iraq. Stephen Michael Bradford, United Kingdom. Aaron Man Shrestha, Nepal. Servando Moises Casas Rojas, Mexico. Atasia Lisa McKnight, Jamaica. Tashinea Shanikea Heslop, Jamaica. Emma Kate Coates, United Kingdom. Anna Maria Rendich, Argentina. Mesa San, Cambodia. And Stefan Andreas Schultz, Germany. Ms. Jackson.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. If I could just have all of the applicants that are here for naturalization today to stand up for me, please, so that you may repeat the oath of allegiance. And please repeat the oath of allegiance. It is actually what makes you the U.S. citizen, okay? Okay. So everyone will repeat after me. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required, and that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help me God. All right, congratulations.
All right, you all may be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. It is my distinct pleasure to be the first to say to you congratulations and welcome to the United States, my fellow Americans. Very few people witness a naturalization ceremony without sensing both the splendor and the gravity of the moment. Thank you for your diligent work in choosing to seek the citizenship that you now have, and for allowing those of us who are natural-born citizens to renew our appreciation for what's wonderful about our country, the United States of America. As you likely know personally, but also have had to learn in getting here today, this country is imbued with verve, due to what Franklin Roosevelt noted many years ago, that we, overall, are a country of immigrants. This means that generations of others have given America what you give us today, the gift of bringing the best of your birthplace to our country. When you do this, as so many others have, what you bring will become as much a part of the American culture as the proverbial apple pie. It goes without saying that you have worked diligently to arrive here today, and many of you have made difficult choices. You had to learn a great deal about the history and the government of the United States. You learned how others long before yourselves also made great sacrifices to set the foundation of this country. The country that we love and recognize as the United States of America was first inhabited by Native Americans, even in this very area where we sit today. Shortly after Columbus's first voyage to the New World, the Spanish began to set up small settlements in New Mexico and Florida. Immigrants from France inhabited several small settlements along the Mississippi River, and English immigrants seeking religious freedom settled in Jamestown, Virginia, not far from here. Thereafter, forced immigration began taking place when people were captured in West African nations and brought to this country as slaves. As the 1800s progressed, the immigration population continued to become more diverse, as individuals made the long ocean journey from more remote parts of the world, such as Southern and Eastern Europe and Asia. For many, Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty proved the gateway to people who brought to us the energy that produced phenomenal growth in this nation by building railroads, building roads, building factories, and building cities. At that time and beyond, our country grew and progressed because so many came here hoping to build something else, a new life for themselves. As new citizens of the United States, you can continue to shape the face and define what it means to be an American. Today, each of you becomes an American citizen, but you also must choose whether to become a patriot. The emotions of this day can and should be strong. As Adlai Stevenson noted, patriotism is not a short and frenzied outburst of emotion, but the tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. Patriotism does not mean blindly supporting every action a country takes, but it does mean remaining faithful to the principles of freedom and democracy. A patriot makes no distinction between the fulfillment of duty and the privilege of service. A patriot welcomes both the benefits and the burdens of citizenship. Of course, we all know the names of great patriots in American history, such as George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, George Mason, John and Abigail Adams, Susan Anthony, and Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm inclined to agree with historian Samuel Morrison, who noted that if the American Revolution had produced nothing but the Declaration of Independence, it would have been worthwhile. Indeed, the foundation that the Declaration laid by the Declaration of Independence, by our Constitution, and by our remarkable Bill of Rights ultimately has weathered well the horrors of slavery, the inequality of Jim Crow, and the challenges of war and economic hardship. Those documents survive because they rest on what are indeed self-evident principles. All persons are created equally, and we all seek, and should be allowed by our government to seek, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is hard to read those documents, to actually sit down and read them, and not be awestruck. But the true marvel of this country is that this very tent that we're inhabited in right now might possess a future leader of our country. And our country owes much to some great naturalized citizens, people such as Felix Frankfurter, a deeply influential Associate Supreme Court Justice from 1939 to 1962, Alexander Graham Bell, a Scottish-born scientist and inventor who was awarded the first patent for the telephone, Albert Einstein, a German-born physicist who developed the theory of relativity and is best known for the most famous equation in the world, E equals mc squared. And Madeleine Albright, the former Secretary of State who served as our emissary around the world while having come here from somewhere else. But you need not be renowned to make a powerful impact on your new homeland. Each of us daily has the opportunity to be a patriot. You now have bestowed upon you those rights and privileges which many Americans take for granted, but which you recognize as unique among nations. Today is only the beginning of your journey. Citizenship carries with it opportunities for a better life and expanded personal freedom, but it does also demand full participation in the democratic process. By choosing to participate, by voting, by serving as a juror, by participating in a community group, whatever it is, you can fulfill what Adlai Stevenson also described when he said, "When Americans say that they love this country, what is meant is that they love a place in which freedom lives and a person can draw the breath of self-respect." The reason our Constitution and our Declaration of Independence and our remarkable Bill of Rights survive so well over time is that patriotism not only helps the greater good, but it betters the patriot as well. It seems especially appropriate to conduct this ceremony today at the Henricus Historical Park, which is a living history museum dedicated to one of the first settlements in our country. The town of Henricus was founded by Sir Thomas Dale in 1611 as an alternative to the swampy area around the original settlement in Jamestown. This area is close to where Pocahontas grew up and where she lived with her husband, John Rolfe. As an interesting aside, the English had a desire to build a college in Henricus. However, due to fightings between the colonists and the Native Americans, the proposed facility was moved to the east to Williamsburg, and that institution became William & Mary. As I conclude my remarks, I'd like to draw your attention to the American flag, which is to my right. Our flag was adopted by the Second Continental Congress in 1777. Henry Cabot Lodge, who's recognized as our first Senate Majority Leader, opined that the flag of the United States is just as much the flag of the person naturalized yesterday as it is of someone whose family came here generations ago. So with that said, please stand and join me as we pledge allegiance to our flag, the flag of the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. It is my privilege to welcome you individually as you receive your certificate of citizenship. I will shake your hand, a citizen-to-citizen greeting that I have heard Thomas Jefferson began using when president, having seen a variation of the handshake used by Native Americans.
This time I will call again the candidates, our newest U.S. citizens. So if I could have the first row, please stand up, and if you would file by, receive first your certificate, and then greet the others in the receiving line, and then circle back around to sit in the seat that you currently occupy. First row, Cecilia Del Valle, Anaya Bergman. And Samira Waij Said. You all can go ahead and follow. Seon Kim. Huda Jalal Bekri. Sutsara Surinpomi. Mahmoud Ahmed Resen. Nuri Ahmed Resen. Iris Zahir Riyad. And Janessa Rogers Langley. Divya Chirag Patel. Ophelia Galvin Obir. If we could have the second row go ahead and follow around, please, all of you together. Abayomi Ade Laja Agumbade. Amelia Madison Diamond. Juan Zavala. Maria Isabel Alba de Leon. Radhika Priya Ipaturi. Bubu Ama Banini. Juana Cortez Guse. Perpetual Apia. Hao Zhang. If we could have the next third row come forward with Graham Bruce Davies. Juan Pablo Contreras. Alexander Batkin. Christine Seonju Han. Agnes David Coraton. Samir Khalil. Andrea Gabriela Vera Ordonez. Rosa Ramirez Rivera. Dui Hong Din. Our next row of citizens. Elena Figueroa. Lakshmi Ruvana Venkat Kanaka Gunuru, Yolanda Kashala, Noe Valeriano Barahona, Devendra Ganasham Taska Nokar, Giovanna Merino, Kanam Sunarata, Hyun Ko, Luis Christina. Next row of people, Anna Elizabeth Garcia de Samayoa, Danielle Simone Carson, Abdul Rahman Mohammed, Thais Marchioli Barker, Victor Bezugla, Ala Bezugla, Vanita Murugesan, Susan Farah Soli Shahata, Safwat Radi Besha Shahata. Next row of individuals. Kushbu. Kushbu Vora. Arifabanu Ikram Vora. Shefek Amin. Stephen Michael Bradford. Aaron Mann Shrestha. Servando Moises Casas Rojas. Natasia Lisa McKnight. Tashinea Shanika Heslop. Do we have the next row of individuals? Emma Kate Coates. Anna Maria Rendich. Miss Hassan. Stefan Andreas Schultz.
Well, again, on behalf of all of the judges from the Eastern District of Virginia, I want to congratulate all of our new citizens. And there's one final piece of court business that we need to take care of. And that is that everyone who is not naturalized today is ordered to take someone who was naturalized today to lunch. And that's a court order, all right? Okay, we'll stand in recess.
All rise. All persons having further business before this court may now depart. God save the United States and this honorable court. This court stands adjourned.